Right, everybody, welcome back to another video on this channel. Now, in this video, we'll be doing a different sort of video. We'll be debating, and I'll give you both sides of the argument on whether can Arsenal go back to back and can they win the Premier League again. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to please drop a like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned to the end of the video. And let's get straight into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about some reasons why Arsenal can win the Premier League. I think after watching the Community Shield performance yesterday, then they are serious contenders, and they were already serious contenders going into the season to be winning the Premier League. Now, one reason why I think they will win it, and that is because they've just won it. That experience of winning, they know what it feels like now, and I think that was one thing which a lot of people were critical of before, like will they be able to do it last season because they haven't done it before in a very long time. Multiple second place finishes. I think Arsenal, that experience will be so important to them. They know how tough, how certain games are, when, the running is difficult and these sort of things. And I think that's something that is really important to Mikel Arteta. A lot of those players have been there when they finished second, and, it will help them. They know what it's like and what has to be done. They know it's a tough journey. I think that's definitely one thing that will help them. Number two, I think the squad. I think if I look at every position in that Arsenal team, they've got serious depth. You look at sort of, obviously in goal, they've got Raya. You don't really need depth in goal. You look at that defence. For right back, they've got Ben White, Timber, two very good players. Start for probably most teams in the Premier League. Then you look at centre back, Gabriel, Mosquera, Saliba, Hincapié, Calafiori can even do a job there. Then at left back, you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, you've got Calafiori, you've got Hincapié. Solid defence. And again, you can already see, even with Saliba being out of the last game, Mosquera come in and did a very good job. They also have people like, I think his name Mari Salmon, who's from the academy. They've got really good defenders. Now look how they strengthened that midfield. They've already had Declan Rice. They signed Zubamendi last summer. They've got Lewis-Skelly again. Odegaard. Bruno Guimaraes, very good signing. That's a very good, to replace effectively Norgard with Guimaraes is top business. And you can already see playing Guimaraes, it takes that burden off Declan Rice. I've said it many times. When you don't play when you do play Rice, and he's played so many games over the last couple of years, eventually you will burn out. And you need someone else to come in that has the quality that can do a job. And for me, there's no one better than Bruno Guimaraes. I think he's a really fantastic player, someone that has a lot of quality, a lot of consistency. And I think he's an absolute fantastic signing. Now you look at the attack. Right hand side, Saka, Madueke. Striker, they've got Havertz, Gyökeres. And on the left, Zolis. And so still Martinelli. Again, if he goes, they probably bring in someone else. But that is a serious squad. And to win a Premier League, you obviously need your depth. And I think that's something that Arsenal have strengthened. Yes, they've had good squads of recent, but this one is really terrifying. And as a Manchester United fan, I'm very worried about what they can do. I think that sort of the way that they gel, the way that they play, and it might not be the most entertaining football. I'm not saying that it is. A lot of times, if I'm picking one team to watch in the Premier League right now, probably wouldn't be Arsenal, and that's just not because I'm an Arsenal fan. They don't play them. At times it's entertaining, but most of the time when I look at last season, it wasn't great. I don't think they were great football inside. However, they're very good at getting results, and that leads me on to the third thing. Very good at results. They were a very effective team, whether that be defending very well and deciding whether to be resolute. We might not like it as football fans, but it worked for them so well. And as I said, they have those leaders, that foundation of, listen, you're not going to score against us effectively. I think they conceded 27 goals last season in the Premier League. Very good stat. The defence is the foundation for them to go out and do good things, and that is a really good defence. So if I had to pick one sort of aspect of their team in which they are going to win the Premier League, I would probably go defence. I think that defence and keeper is so good, and he's proven it over the last couple of seasons. Obviously, I think their attack needs to do better. If you're looking at, Saka's been quite inconsistent. I know Gyökeres got 20 goals. Zolis is a new signing. So there's some reasons why I think they are going to win the Premier League. Now, the only reason why I don't think Arsenal come in the Premier League, and that kind of is injuries. That's the only kind of thing where I don't think there's much competition. City don't look great. It's going to take time to gel under Maresca. From a Manchester United perspective, we don't know how we're going to do under Michael Carrick. As good as it's been last season, this season's a different kettle of fish. You're playing multiple games a week. It's Champions League, it's Premier League, it's high demand, high pressure. I still don't think United have invested enough. If you're looking at Chelsea, again, new manager coming in, Arsenal literally settled under Mikel Arteta. They can go for the Premier League, they can go for the Champions League again, and it pains me to say because I wish Manchester United were in this position. But it's all credit to Arsenal of what they built over the last 7-8 years. Mikel Arteta's been there. So I think injuries, and you've seen it before, and that's why that depth comes into it. You need players that can come in and do a job, and I think that's something that Arsenal have. You look at now, as I mentioned earlier, Saliba's out, but you've got Mosquera, what's his name, Calafiori. If he's injured, you've got Hincapié. That depth is so key, and yeah, I think Arsenal are going to be a serious threat in the Premier League this season. I think they are the favourites to win it. I think they are the team that will win it, unless you see a surprise package. There's a lot of new managers, especially among the top clubs. De Zerbi's relatively new, Xabi Alonso's new, Carrick's obviously only been in the job 5 or 6 months, Iraola's new, Maresca's new. So a lot of new managers in the Premier League. I think it's Arsenal's to lose, to be honest with you. I think they're a really strong team, and going into this season, they're going to take some stopping. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think Arsenal can go back to back in the Premier League? Arsenal fans, if you are watching, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.